Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and this is part 2 of my Galactic Legend ranking and farming order series. So if you guys haven't seen part 1, link in the description down below where I give you the farming order that I recommend for Galactic Legends. That will tie into the Fat Phil approved farming guide. Again, I'll probably link that in the description of both videos too, because I think it's a great guide, and I think it gives you guys a really good foot forward into not only getting early good backbone teams, but getting Galactic Legends quickly and setting you up to start progressing farther and faster into this game than other people playing. As always, guys, please make sure you are subscribing to this channel. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of November, so I really appreciate all the love and support you guys have been showing the channel. Alright, so let's first get into our typical video where we must pay homage to our King Wampa. Again, as I said in part 1, you are worthy of being a Galactic Legend. They really just need to completely rework you to give you an ultimate form where you just, basically eat tauntauns the whole time. That'd be an amazing ability. You are my king and always in my heart. Alright, so, here's my farming order if you guys haven't seen part 1. So, if you guys want to understand why I have them in this order, go watch part 1 now. Otherwise, we're going to get into the GL ranks. And I have different categories here, right, where we're going to be ranking them based on certain things. So the first category is cost, right? From a cost perspective, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and Sith Eternal are definitely the two cheapest, with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren actually being the cheapest Galactic Legend. I think Rey and Sith Eternal are closer. However, the difference with Rey, where she draws back, is that she has BB-8 and Jedi Training Rey, who are both, and even R2-D2 are all legendary characters, and BB-8 needs a First Order team. Jedi Training Rey needs, 4 of those 5 characters are requirements for her, but Veteran Smuggler Han is a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren requirement, so we have to farm somebody else just to get Jedi Training Rey. And then R2-D2 needs Empire characters, so again, if you're just trying to get Rey, looking at her from, again, blind here, right? There's a lot of requirements that we need to get just to get her. Jedi Master Luke, he's got, Wampa and Hermit Yoda, who are Get 1 characters. We need to get all the characters for Jedi Knight Luke, and then the rest of the Jedi Master Luke requirements. Some of those do overlap, but very expensive. And the reason he's up here is no Relic 8s for any of these characters. This next category, guys, we need 1 Relic 8 for Jabba, 2 for Kenobi, 4 for Lord Vader. So that's really why that cost they're down here, right? Just from those Relic 8s really make these farms a lot harder to get done comparative to these ones up here. Obviously, we got our king here. So next we're going to talk about performance. And performance here, guys, just as a, small reminder, right? This performance is completely based off of, that you have the best team for them, right? We're not including Datacrons in here. This is just looking at teams. So Lord Vader is, in my opinion, the best Galactic Legend now, and that's because Jabba the Hutt is in the game. Jedi Master Kenobi was the best Galactic Legend, but Jabba the Hutt completely counters Jedi Master Kenobi. And so, to me, that knocks Kenobi down a level, that it's another GL that will just completely wipe the floor with Kenobi, right? And Kenobi can't beat Jabba, whereas Lord Vader can beat every Galactic Legend in the game. So that's why Lord Vader's in that top slot. Just has to do with the fact that on offense, he's beating every Galactic Legend. Again, guys, these top 3, they're all really good, because Lord Vader has non-GL counters, where Kenobi does not. Jabba, I think, has 1. I've seen Inquisitors beat Jabba. He's still very new, but there are a couple of GLs that will beat him. So, this top 3 here, offensively, Lord Vader is definitely top tier. Defensively, I would say Kenobi and Jabba the Hutt have a leg up on Lord Vader, so they're kind of in that top 3. Down here, guys, we've got Luke, Kylo, Rey, and Sith Eternal. Sith Eternal, definitely the worst, right? Easily the worst one. I have him last here. These 3 right here, Rey, Kylo, and Luke, before Jabba, I definitely would have said Luke is up in this tier. But because Jabba, Luke can struggle against Jabba here, so we kind of bumped him down. Kylo, very capable of beating, most of the GLs here. I do think he can beat everybody, but we start getting into needing specific teams for him, so he kind of takes a step down. And then on defense, there are non-GL counters. Same thing for Rey. I'm pretty sure she's capable of beating every GL, maybe struggling against Lord Vader a little bit. I don't know if she can actually beat him. But non-GL counters kind of pop her down into this lower tier for performance. All right, Rex. So Jedi Master Luke, in my opinion, has the best requirements in the game. You're going to get Commander Luke. You're going to get, Jedi Knight Luke, Hermit Yoda. There's all of these characters that are like strictly required for Jedi Master Luke, in my opinion, that just make him a fantastic Galactic Legend, right? Jabba the Hutt in the third spot here is because he shares a lot of those requirements with Jedi Master Luke, because he requires Jedi Knight Luke and C-3PO, and Han Solo too. The other thing with him to keep in mind is that there are some duds, but the characters we farm up for Jabba are used for his team. So he's got some really good Rex. Once you get him, you've got a team. So he's, in my opinion, pretty good. Sith Eternal, I actually think, is the second best requirements, because we're going to be getting we've got the, Thrawn, right? The Chimera, right? That's one of our capital ships we'll get as the Chimera. You'll have the option for Tarkin's fleet. We're going to be able to get Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine, Thrawn, right? You've got a start of an Imperial Trooper team. He's got some duds, but he's got some really good big hitting teams, gets us along the way and sets us up nicely for the Executor. So his Rex are really good. Down in here, so Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and Rey both have, the characters you farm up for them are needed in their teams. The reason they drop down a level is they do have some duds, right? They've definitely got some bad ones. Kylo's Rex do get saved by the Phasma Omicron, where we get two really good First Order teams inside of Territory Wars. And with the First Order TIE Pilot Omicron, we get saved in GAC, so he's really good. Lord Vader and Kenobi. Lord Vader does have some very good Rex, do not get me wrong. I think where Lord Vader takes a step down, in my opinion, is his Relic 8s, only 2 of them are really good, right? You've got Count Dooku in there, and you've got Padme at Relic 8, which I just think is unnecessary, right? Those, getting them to that high of a Relic level is just horrible. And then you've got, Embo, who, is good for Jabba the Hutt, but again, just from a standpoint of with Lord Vader, none of the characters you farm up for him are used in his arena team. So that, I think, is a big downside to him. Jedi Master Kenobi does get General Kenobi as part of his requirements. The reason I have him down on this list, even though in GAC Qui-Gon Jinn saves a lot of those characters for him, there are some duds, right? Wat Tambor Relic 7 is brutal. Bo-Katan and Cody and Clone Sarge really don't have a ton of uses in this game. So with Kenobi, there's just a lot of dead weight, or there are some really good things, right? We get General Grievous, General Kenobi, even Grandmaster Yoda at Relic 8 isn't bad, but there are just some duds in his Rex that definitely don't lead us into a really good team, and we still need to farm up the rest of the characters for his squad. All right, squad comp. So what I mean by this is that this is saying these characters have versatility when it comes to building their teams. Sith Eternal being the prime example of, I need Wat, I need the armor or the armor, right? And then you can just throw dark side tanks with him and you're going to get results, right? That's basically what it is. Get him ultimate, give him Beskar, give him the tank tech, and he's going to do fine. So we have a lot of options when it comes to Sith Eternal. We can use full Sith, right? A lot of ways to use him. Rey, I almost put her in front of Sith Eternal. I actually think we will here. I'm going to come in here. Rey, in my opinion, actually has a lot more, compositions, because she's, a true, I think, when I think about Galactic Legends, right, I think Rey has the most Galactic Legend-esque, leadership, in that she's just a home for light side characters. Vandor Chewbacca, you can throw, smugglers with her. Commander Tano, she just has a home for everything. Really good for squad comp. Master Luke is next because of just how big the Jedi faction is, and he can take advantage of any of those Jedi. He's not particular as to whether you're Old Republic Jedi, Galactic Republic Jedi, or just regular Jedi, right? He's a home for all Jedi. So many different teams you can use with Jedi Master Luke and get a lot of use out of your Jedi. For squad comp, we've got Lord Vader next, and he's clearly in this slot here, like 4th slot. There are some different ways we can use Lord Vader, a lot of different teams. The thing is, like, some of those teams, you know, you throw, like, Canderous in there, right, to stop, like, a bounty hunter team, right, or something like that, and he loses viability against, like, other Galactic Legends. So, Lord Vader, I did have to put a step down just because, yes, you can build different teams to make counters, but it opens you up to, you know, Galactic Legend counters. Kylo's next. Kylo, we do get some wiggle room with the Night Sisters, right, that we can use him with that. But otherwise, you're primarily just going to be using him with the First Order. So he gets that, you know, slot here where there is a few times where we might use, like, Night Sisters, but overall, really just wants First Order. Kenobi and Jabba, very dependent. Like, Kenobi even probably has, like, stricter requirements than Jabba. I think the thing with Kenobi that we can get away with is offensively, you can use a tank like Clone Wars Chewbacca in a mirror match or something because they're just going to target them anyway. So, just my personal opinion, those two have the strictest squad compositions that they really need. You know, Kenobi needs Commander Tano and Galactic Republic, whereas Jabba the Hutt just needs that Hutt cartel, right? So, again, guys, just looking at it from a composition perspective. Now, my overall Galactic Legend ratings, these are completely independent of Datacrons, right? I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but completely independent of Datacrons. Kenobi and Jabba and Lord Vader are the first 3, and we can interchange any of those, right? I would say Kenobi, without Datacrons, the reason Kenobi takes that first slot, in my personal opinion, is there's no non-GL counters. Jabba the Hutt can also, I think Kenobi, they both have like no real non-GL counters. I think Jabba does have an Inquisitor counter that I've seen work before. But the biggest thing with these two GLs, right, there's no non-GL counters to them that are really consistent or that we know of. Now, offensively, offensively, Kenobi can't beat Jabba, but Jabba won't beat Lord Vader. Lord Vader in this 3rd slot, I think to me just is the whole... There are some non-GL counters that are very, very consistent, and so for me, he kind of falls into that like 3rd slot. Jedi Master Luke, I actually really like him as this number 4, and I wanted him up here for a reason. He can beat... I don't know if he's beating Jabba the Hutt consistently yet. I need to do some more research and see if there's a squad comp that's beating Jedi Master Luke, or that's beating Jabba the Hutt. But Master Luke beats Lord Vader, he beats Kenobi, he beats Kylo, he beats Rey, and he can even beat Sith Eternal. Like, I've done that multiple times before. The other thing with Master Luke, for me, is just that because of how wide that Jedi faction is, we can use him in so many different ways that it's really worth putting him up in this slot here that, you know, while he might not be able to beat Jabba, you know, Kenobi can't either. Lord Vader offensively beats everything, but those non-GL counters, so this list up here kind of just is encompassing that, you know, they all have their puts and takes, but this is the top tier Galactic Legends. From a bottom tier Galactic Legend perspective, we've got these ones right here. They all have non-GL counters. Sith Eternal is a defensive liability, just horrendous. And then Kylo can actually beat every GL with the right team comp, but because he's dependent upon team composition to beat certain Galactic Legends, I knocked him down a peg because early on you're not going to have Relic Night Sisters or Relic Armorers or whatever the case is, right? So I had to knock him down in order to keep this list as accurate as possible. And then finally, guys, Rey. The non-GL counter of General Skywalker 501st really pegs her down a list. And then I also think that just from the standpoint of losing to a lot of these GLs, I had to peg her down. I do really like all GLs, don't get me wrong. Like, all of these characters are still better than, you know, everything else in the game, right? Like, do not think that that's not me saying that. Like, these are all better than, you know, these are the 7 best characters in the game right here. Just, not all Galactic Legends were created equal, and some of these GLs, cough cough Sith Eternal, really have lost a lot of viability with the addition of new GLs. But that's the video, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. As always, like and subscribe. Make sure you put in the comments that Wampa is king. May the force be with you, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.